Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and we have got to talk about this crazy raid digest coming out from Plarium, talking about possible nerfs coming to two insanely strong new champions to the game that have had a bunch of events, throwing us for a loop and completely changing the CBC timing, which means I was wrong in today's wrap-up video, and refusing to help out with polymorph and make any sort of adjustments to that. So we're going to keep you in the loop on the new Plarium news raid digest. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, I apologize. It's not like I forgot to include this in today's news wrap-up video. It's just that this got released at 10:24 a.m. for me, and I can't start working on videos at 10 or 11 o'clock. I won't get the daily wrap out until like 1 or 2. So, I start usually working on production for the daily wrap-up video around like 8:30 a.m. And so, unfortunately, every now and then when Plarium's late with their announcements, I'm going to end up missing something important that I would have liked to talk about. So I apologize for that. Not really a whole lot I can do. Sometimes they release these things at like 5 a.m. Sometimes it's at 11 a.m. It just kind of depends. Usually, the one nice thing about being an American is usually they release everything at like 3 or 4 a.m. my time. It's like when all the events end and when all their stuff comes out. And so usually when you wake up in the morning, everything's already kind of been there for a few hours and been fine-tuned and been discussed a little bit and all of that. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of this raid digest because there's some interesting things in here to talk about. So first of all, they've got a little greeting right here talking about let's go and let's do the raid digest. So first off, Taras and Marichka. Now, basically what they're saying here in nice words is that they understand that they are very strong and they are a huge tandem, especially in the higher tiers of arena. They are completely crushing and dominating and super strong. But they say that in spite of that, there is no plans right now to rebalance Taras and Marichka. So looks like they'll be staying strong at least for a while, at least for another few months, because if it's not even in the plans, I mean, we only typically get rebalances about every 3 months or so in raids. So if it's not even in the works, I'd say pretty likelihood, or pretty high likelihood, sorry, that they stay the way they are at least for the next 6 months or so. Which means for those of you that are lucky enough to have both Taras and Marichka, congratulations. I did actually get lucky and get Marichka, but I haven't been able to acquire Taras yet. Obviously, I would be using them a lot if I had the tandem. Marichka ends up being a really solid support that I do use situationally in tag team arena and stuff, and she is definitely very solid, cranks out insane amounts of heals, but I have not been able to test the duo yet. So let me know down below if you think they are too strong, or if they're proper, or if you would rebalance them and all of that. And then next up, I think this is an important one to talk about. They talk about polymorph and the sheep running around everywhere in the arena. Now, let's talk about what Plarium says. They say polymorph with its sheep debuff is designed specifically for the arena. That's obviously no secret. Hence, its effect is strong in PvP battles. Still, it works randomly. Its chance to proc is not very huge at 5%, which is the first level of awakening, and then 20% at the max. Then, most importantly, there is counterplay against polymorph. The attacker can choose if they want to risk becoming a sheep or choose a less debuff heavy option. There are no plans to tweak it for now. And what Plarium means by there being counterplay is that here's an example of a champion that I've got in the polymorph in my Canrafon here. Going into the match, they're arguing that your opponent can see the blessing icon and they know where polymorph is. And then it says a chance to place a sheep whenever they place debuffs on this champion or remove or steal buffs from them. So Plarium is saying it would be up to the opponent heading into that PvP battle to note, like, okay, this Canrafon has the polymorph blessing. I need to choose if I want to take that risk or not when it comes to debuffing them. Oh my goodness, I just said it the way that they say it in the raid on the raid YouTube channel. They brainwashed me. I just said debuff. Oh my goodness, first time in my life I've said it that way. Anyway, they're saying that you can choose to debuff that champion with the polymorph blessing or not. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave that up to you to have your opinion. But if you ask me, I would say it probably should be some sort of an adjustment. It'd be hard for me to sit here and rework it off the top of my head for you live on the video. But I know that it's one of the blessings that gets the most hate and the most complaint that I see in the community. So I'd be all for a more fun option. I do like the idea of the funny like polymorph sheep running around all over, but I do understand some of the concerns that people have with it, and I'd be open to Plarium thinking about adjusting it in some sort of way if they actually sat down and planned it well. But then there's another section right here that talks about as for the other arena related blessings, such as Incinerate, which is the HP burn one, Lethal Dose, which is for the poisons, we do not plan to expand their influence in PvE battles. The poison and HP burn debuffs in their current state are highly effective in PvE by design. Hence, any additional boost to them will only hurt the balance of PvE combat. I'm not sure if I follow that logic. I mean, what like blessings should be strong in all areas of the game. It's a blessing. The Iron Twins has ridiculously low rewards, and it's really hard to not only acquire the champions that you want, but then also get the blessings for them you want. Rank up those blessings. It costs gems to change them. I have like it's not like these blessings are too overpowered, the Incinerate and the Lethal Dose. So I'm not really tracking that line of logic, but anyway, do not expect those to get any stronger. But they do say that we will continue to monitor the performance of all blessings and check the players' feedback on them all. It is quite possible that more rebalances are coming in the future, and we kindly ask you to keep sharing your thoughts with us. Okay, well, yeah, let me know down below, and we always consistently forward any sort of feedback and sentiment that we're getting in the community as best we can to Plarium, and hopefully it helps. And then lastly, this is kind of crazy. The CVC tournament, I expected this to be a change in like the personal rewards or non-personal rewards and all that, but they do say that you'll be surprised. Next week, there will be no CVC tournament. The next CVC tournament will knock on Raid's door on the 14th of March, and it will feature personal rewards. That's interesting. I wonder why they're choosing to do that. There's got to be some reason. Um, if I had to guess, maybe they're going to be doing a guaranteed event for Ancient Shards early in the week, like on Tuesday or Wednesday or something, and they want to wait to have something to fill in for the next week if they're kind of running out of options or something they want to do. So instead of having the Ancients and the CVC or the guaranteed event for Ancients going on at the same time, they're going to stagger them a little bit. That's all I can kind of think of, is something like that. I don't really understand. There had to be some sort of motive behind the scenes. Let me know down below if you can think of anything that would have really made sense. But this kind of makes me believe that there's going to be something going on Tuesday or Wednesday, kind of early in the week, that will be something like a guaranteed summon event for a champion. So we'll have to kind of stay tuned and see what they do in that normal CVC slot. But anyway, you're not going to be getting a CVC for a while, all the way until March 14th. And that is a long time. So that doesn't even, I kind of misread this at first a little bit. They're not just delaying it a week. They're literally skipping a CVC. They're just going to skip the CVC. I wonder, okay, now I think I know. I think what they're going to be doing is they're going to be trying to find out what is the better ROI. If they do CVC once a month, if they can get players to covet it a little bit more and go a little bit crazier and dump a little bit more resources, and they're probably going to try to look at the different data points, doing CVC every 2 weeks or doing CVC once a month, and which ends up kind of getting players more incentivized to dump resources. It's got to be something like that, obviously, from their end. They're going to be trying to look at those metrics like that. But anyway, let me know. Do you think that's good to do CVC once a month instead of every 2 weeks? I don't know. I don't know how players are going to feel about that. I'll have to do a poll here on the channel over on the community tab where people can vote. I think the last time that I did a vote was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I feel like I've done that before, and I feel like that people did say they liked it every 2 weeks. But nonetheless, I will host a poll about that and would love to hear your different opinions on that as well. So there we have it. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Just to quickly wrap up, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a rebalance to Taras and Marichka anytime soon. We are not going to be getting any adjustments to some of those blessings that either are too strong in PvP, like Polymorph, or too weak, like some of the HP burn and poison blessings. And then we are also not going to be getting any CVC as we thought on Tuesday. We were going to have a CVC, but it looks like they're skipping, and we're not going to have a CVC for like almost 3 weeks coming up. So I guess I'm just going to have to book Mortal Macabre and start working on the graphic and guide and testing him and all of that. Just some of the champions that I've got slated that I was waiting for Tuesday to work on. I guess we're just going to have to start doing it because CVC is going to be a while out. But yeah, anyway, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm going to be playing some Diablo 3 tonight. Still deciding if I'm going to stream it or not. I'm going to be hanging out with like Darth Micro and Veiled Shot and going pretty hard in the paint on some Diablo 3 tonight for the new season. I hope all of you have a fantastic Friday heading into the weekend. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Peace.